doing well. Hope everyone is had a great week. I think I might be muted. Hold on a minute. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Let's see. Let me make the screen a little bit big. And I think I'm okay. I think I'm all right. I think you guys can hear me okay, right? Let me know in the chat if you cannot. And I will fix that. So let me see. Haven't seen anybody respond yet. You are not muted. Thank you, Shayna. Welcome. I'm retired now, Shayna, just like you. Anyway, so guys, I thank you so much for hanging out with me this Friday. So today's topic, I wanted to talk to you guys about the challenges that embroidery businesses face during the holiday season. I mean, it is getting real this year. I'm getting a lot of people pissed off at me this year because I set boundaries this year. So let's get to it. Let's talk about these challenges over here. All right. So for those that are new, hi, I am Jeanette from Boricua Sewing and Crafts, and this is Embroidery Happy Hour. And this is the channel where we are talking about things about running an embroidery business, the good, the challenging, the everything in between, all the different things that you can imagine in running an embroidery business. Okay. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight, like I said before, is the big challenges that embroidery businesses face, especially during the holiday season. You know, it's really, really busy. And I don't know, for some reason, this is the time because everybody is getting gifts for everybody, right? And everybody wants to make sure that their gift is like the bomb, all right? It's the one that blows all the other gifts away. So it really is the busiest time. So if you're running an embroidery business right now, especially we're right in the middle of December, I'm sure you guys are feeling it. And the reason why I wanted to do this video at this time is because I wanted people out there to know you're not by yourself, okay? So some of these things that you're experiencing, we're all experiencing them, okay? We're all going through it. It's something that you're going to have to prepare for on a yearly basis, but just know that when you're going through this, you're not by yourself. We are all there with you. Been there, done that, and we've all experienced it, okay? So let's talk about some of those things that we experienced during the holiday season. All right. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand. I want to be honest about tonight. Okay. The holiday season can be amazing for a business, but it can also be overwhelming if you're not setting your boundaries, you don't have your business processes in place, and you're not setting expectations with your customers. Okay. So the thing is that because it is the most busiest time of the year for us, especially, you got to make sure that you are preparing yourself correctly. All right. So let's talk about, what it is that you got to do and expect in order for you to maintain your peace. Okay. Now let's talk about the first challenge that we are facing: the order volume and the time pressure. Okay. Let's be honest that this is one of the biggest challenges we're going to experience, because all of a sudden during this time period, you have this huge increase of volume in your orders. All right. Everybody wants to personalize their gifts. They want to personalize their towels. They want to personalize robes. They want your stockings to be personalized. They get bags. They want them personalized. They want patches. They want your hats. You name it, okay? And they don't just want it personalized. They want it today, okay? They don't want to just have a discussion with you. They just want to give it to you. You do it, and they run out. That's how they expect it. So, let's talk about what the reality really is, all right? Our machines can only stitch so many hours, all right? And let's be honest about this too. Custom work takes time, all right? Especially when people give you items that need to be digitized, all right? Then next thing you know, it's not your time that they're kind of demanding. They're also demanding the time of the digitizer as well. So a lot of times people don't realize that. They will go and they will bring something to you and they'll say, I need this logo. I want this. I want that. And next thing you know, it's like they expect you to just say, okay, no problem. Like you could just throw a little wand over the robe or the hat or the jacket or something like that, and then it just magically appears. And not only that, just want you to do it, they want you to do it quickly. And when you do some type of custom work like that in a really fast basis, the chances are you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Okay. So if you're not careful, you could find yourself working really late, feeling really behind. And at the same time, also, is you're going to feel unappreciated as well. And when you make the mistake, trust me, they're not going to forget it. They will forget about all the other times that you did all the embroidery, excellent, good, and everything like that. But when it comes to that one error that you made, all bets are off. They're pissed off at you and they're going to drag your name over the mug. So I am telling you, this is where the volumes always come. You're going to get one or two. You're going to get like 10, 15, 20 people knocking on your door. They all want it today or yesterday, and all of a sudden it becomes your problem to make it happen. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to set those boundaries. You're going to have to make sure you schedule your time. I don't know if you guys have been watching me for quite some time, but in the beginning, when I started this embroidery journey, I was like saying yes to everybody, and everybody that came to the door, I was trying to rush and break their orders. At the same time, I was working full time. I was getting up early in the morning, getting on a bus, going to work, working 8 hours, coming home to then have to do all these Christmas orders and rush them at the same time. I don't know how the hell I did it, but I'm going to tell you something. It ain't happening. And even now, I do have the extra time. I don't want to give up the extra time like that. Okay, I want to actually enjoy my retirement. So now I have these set hours that I do embroidery. I actually went and I got an appointment book where I actually make sure that I meet with the customers and the requirements. I schedule their jobs and then I embroider it at that time. I will not place myself in that position again. I am telling you, you will just tire yourself out. Nobody's going to care that you did that great embroidery job really quick. All they're going to care about is that they got their item. So you got to make sure you put yourself first and that you set those boundaries. The other thing is we end up with a lot of last minute shoppers. Holiday shoppers, very famous for waiting the last minute. And I ain't going to lie, I used to be one of those. All right. You know why? Because at the last minute, they're trying to get rid of their holiday gear. So sometimes you can grab those sales, okay? Right? Like a lot of times people like to shop the day after Christmas. Well, if you shop the day of Christmas, sometimes you could kind of grab something for 50% off or even 60% off. And then what do they do with that? Well, it's like, oh, that robe was $19.99. Well, 2 weeks ago, now they're offering the same robe for $10. Well, that's great. Let me grab that robe and then I'll go over to Jeanette, and Jeanette can embroider it for me real quick and everything. And then I can give it as a Christmas gift. Wrong answer. Okay. Got it. And I totally understand that you want that sale, because you want to save some money. But the problem is that as the embroiderer, you're not doing me any favors. You're actually stressing me. So those last minute shoppers may have gotten that deal, but I'm going to tell you something. That deal, they're turning around because they kind of look at it as, oh, I could save money because the money I saved, I could pay for the embroidery, but it becomes your problem. That's the problem with that. That's the issue that I have with that. And then what ends up happening is all my customers do that. You got to remember, you can't do it. And you're going to hear a lot of excuses from these customers, okay? They're going to say, well, it's just this one quick thing. Well, let me tell you, I've had a customer that tell me, oh, I just have one thing, just one stocking that I need you to embroider. Next thing you know, I open up the door. They don't have one stocking. They end up having 5 or 6 of them. Oh, can you squeeze me in? No, there's only so much time. There's 24 hours in a day, okay? There's no 25, 26 hours. I can't squeeze you in. And then I love this one. I didn't realize that Christmas was so close. Well, people say that, right? But let's get real, okay? It's not like Christmas Day changed dates, okay? We all know it's December 25th. We all know it's in the same month of December. We know it's at the end of the year. That's one of the reasons why a lot of us that do embroidery, do sewing and stuff, and that we are in the embroidery business, we end up making our gifts probably during the summertime, because we know that during this season, there is no way that we're going to be able to do our Christmas gifts and also manage and do other people's you know orders as well. It's just too much. It's too much work. Sorry. Let me get some coquito here. This is good. So it's just too much. So you just have to make sure, like I said, that you always maintain your schedule. Okay. Their emergency, it becomes your stress. And that's when having those cutoff dates and those rush fees are so important. Trust me, rush fees work. There have been times when I've had customers at the last minute come to me with something. I really don't want to do it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. So what I'll do is I'll tell them, okay, well, I know what my original price is. So what I'll do is I'll up the price and I'll tell them, I'll do it for this much. I consider that a rush fee, okay, because you're cutting into my time now. So what I end up doing is I'll give them the rush fee. If they're willing to pay that, then fine. It's worth of me turning on that machine, okay, and doing what I need to do. But if they come out and they don't want to pay the amount that I'm asking for during that time period, then guess what? That means it's really not that important to them, and let me continue having my rest, okay? So you got to make sure that you really, really, really take care of yourself. That is just so super important. Now, let me talk about the third challenge that I always see, which is the supply and the material delays, okay? During the holidays, all right, we all understand that blanks sell out. The shipping takes longer. A lot of times what happens is you'll get people that will order from you and they want you to ship priority mail or next day shipping and all that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you, shipping is not cheap. If they want to have next day shipping, if they want to have that priority mail shipping, make sure it comes out of their pocket and not yours, because things are expensive now. Threads are off the roof. I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 weeks, I was Ivan that blew my mind when he showed me that a spool of thread, and I will admit it was a large spool of thread, but Jesus, it was like, what, $30 or something like that? It was almost like $30. And then Bob the other week shared that he spent a lot of money on a spool of thread as well. So, I mean, thread's expensive, stabilizers going up, everything's going up, okay? So the thing is, you don't want the customers to stick you with those shipping costs, those high shipping costs, okay? You shouldn't be eating that up. Remember, you're in business to make money, not to lose money, not to break even. That's not the whole purpose of it, okay? So you make sure that you have those conversations with them and you set those dates, okay? The post office is not your responsibility. That's between them and the post office. And a lot of times what happens is customers think that it's your responsibility and it's not. All right. So, got to make sure that you understand that. And then also going back to the supplies. All right. I've said this in the past. Make sure before this season hits that your supplies are very, very well blemished, okay? That you have gone and you ordered it, all right? I told you guys about a little backstory about a holiday where I ran out of bobbins. I was freaking out. I could not find bobbins. I was like, how am I going to process these orders with no bobbins? Thankfully, Susie's Quilt Shop had a box of bobbins. I know I overpaid for those bobbins, but I was desperate. I needed to get them, okay? I think I paid like $50 for the box, all right? Where I normally don't pay that much, but I had to. But it was a lesson learned and one that I will never forget. And then this is the other thing that I advise you guys to do. Even now, while you are processing your orders, look around you and take note of things that you notice are going low in the value, okay? How is your thread supply, especially the colors? Is there a particular color that you're noticing that you're getting, that you have less of? Okay. Is your stabilizer running out? And do you have plenty backup? If not, do you think that maybe next year you should actually buy more than you usually do on the stabilizers, on the threads, on shipping bags, shipping labels? I'll tell you something that I'm going through right now, which never in my life dawned on me, okay? I use a thermal printer to print out my shipping labels. I learned that really quickly when I opened up my business, that you don't use an inkjet printer, because next thing you know, you're going to be buying printer ink for a long, long time. Then I got introduced into thermal printing, which is what businesses use to print out their shipping labels, okay? Well, I have a Rollo printer. I was using that. It worked great for 3 to 4 years, okay? But then it started to spark. I didn't want to have a fire or anything like that. So I figured, okay, it's 3 or 4 year old printer. So obviously it's probably at its end of its life cycle. Let me just throw it out. I'll just buy a brand new one. I like the brand, know how it works. Why learn something new, right? So I went and I purchased another one. Well, I'm on roller printer number 10. I had 3 calls with customer support. Now, in their defense, they are really, really good at trying to help me, okay? I have been on the phone with them 3 times. We have FaceTimes and everything. They have helped me troubleshoot and all that kind of stuff. They told me that the product's under warranty for a year. I told them I bought this back in September. So it hasn't even been a year yet, but I have called them 3 times already, because once it prints out one label, it doesn't stop. So I'm already having problems with my printer. Now think about this, okay? About tonight's topic with the issue that I'm having with the printer. Every time I have to print my labels, I can only print out one label at a time and then refeed the paper. That is costing me time, okay? And also, sometimes the label's printing out well, and sometimes it's not. That's now costing me printer labels, okay? Printer labels are expensive. They're not cheap, all right? So pretty kind of like on the fence with that. So right now, I will say the customer support is great. They're doing everything they possibly can to try to help me out. Every time they stay on the phone with me, they get it working. The moment I hang up with them, then I start processing, it doesn't work. So your equipment is so important, okay? You have to make sure it's serviced. You got to make sure it's working. This just started happening now. Couldn't happen at the worst season, okay? I would have really have loved it if this started in January, because then in January, I could have sat there, troubleshoot with them. I would have been more calmer. I would have been nicer to support and all that kind of stuff and everything, but it happened now. So it kind of goes to show how important it is for you to make sure that your supplies, your materials, and everything is working, all right? So especially now, because all it does is it causes delays and all that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure that, you have all your supplies and everything good to go. The other thing also that I want to mention to you guys is that sometimes customers, they don't understand that when delays happen, sometimes it's outside of your control. Like going back to shipping, all right? You don't manage the postal office, but you do manage your shop. You know that you can embroider something on time. You know that you can have it to the post office on time. However, once you hand the post office your package, it's up to the post office. They're the ones that are delivering the item, not you. So they don't work for you. Those employees don't work for you. You paid the fee for them to deliver it. But the thing is, just like it's really mega busy for you, it's mega busy for them too. So, customers sometimes don't understand it. They get pissed off and all that kind of stuff and everything. So one of the things that I recommend is when it starts to get close by the holidays, you make sure those customers are aware that, the item arrives by a certain date, and that's it. I mean, if they get pissed off, they get pissed off. But like I said, you don't control the post office. The post office doesn't work for you. You pay a shipping fee just like every other customer out there, and it gets there when it gets there. So that's usually how it rolls. All right. The other challenge, okay, is that I usually have is the design approval delays. All right. So custom embroidery sometimes requires approval, and hobbies slow people down. All right. So sometimes what happens is I'll have a customer that will send me something. They need it digitized. And then Foz or whoever I hire will go ahead and digitize the item. I do the test stitch. And then I go ahead and I send them, I take a picture of it and I send it to them. And guess what? Now I'm waiting. I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I'm waiting for an approval. I'm waiting for them to tell me, that they like it, that the colors are right and stuff like that. Well, that delay, okay, for me that they approve that design, that's costing me delay. All right. Because that time I'm sitting there waiting, I'm really not just waiting, I'm processing other orders, but it's going to delay the delivery of their order. They don't realize that, okay? So you got to make sure that they respond quickly. So one of the things that I do is during this time, if people ask for custom, okay, first of all, I turn them down. Honestly, I really do. I do turn them down. I've already had like 3 customers come to me. They want custom work. And I told them that custom work can take place in January. It can't happen during this time frame because I have totally booked. I have too many orders, which I do. And I don't have time for the designs, to test stitch and all that kind of stuff. It's going to have to wait till January. All right. So, if they suddenly respond last minute, if you choose to do it, just be aware this can be a delay. Because let's say that they tell you that they want you to do something. You go ahead, you get it digitized, you test stitch it, you go to them, you send them the picture of the test stitch, and now you're waiting 5 days. So here you are, December 23rd. And then they come out and they say, oh, I like it, do it. Really? So now you only have 2 days, or maybe even 1 actually, because they tell you to do it on 23rd. Maybe you'll turn on the machine on the 24th. So they expect that it could still be done by Christmas. All right. So that eats on your production time. Okay. And it's not a good idea. So usually when it comes to custom work, guys, I don't take it in the month of December. I just tell people up front, if you want something personalized, which is just a name, I got you there. Not a problem. Just tell me what font you want and I will do it. I'll send you a picture if that's what you want. To tell me what color. Bring me the stuff. I will put it in the machine. I'll put the name on there and you can have it back. Easy pleasy. Very simple. Not an issue. But if you have this big design and it's all, custom and I have to get it digitized and I got to test stitch it, it's just not going to happen. It's just not. I don't have time. I'm not going to stress myself. It's just not. Okay. So that's usually how I handle that. The other thing, all right, this is the 5th one, the pricing pressure. During the holidays, people compare the custom embroidery to store-bought gifts, okay? Sometimes you will walk into a store and you could find a shirt that has embroidered on it Merry Christmas or something like that, right? Or they will find a tote bag or something that says Christmas, Happy Holidays or something like that. And they look at it. They'll go to, let's say, Kohl's, or they go to Walmart, someplace like that. And then they go ahead and they look at it and they like it. And they say, oh, $19.99. Okay, well, let me get a blank one because I really don't like that bag, okay? I like this other bag. I'm going to get this bag. I'm going to take it to Jeanette. And I know she'll charge me $19.90, or less than $19.99 because let's say they already paid for the bag. So they don't want to pay for the, more for the embroidery. They're going to try to chip, okay? One of the things that people don't realize when they do that is that it's personalized and it's custom. And when they're asking you to go ahead and embroider a name on a hat or a bag, this is not something that is mass produced, okay? When I work on bulk items, what happens is already everything is decided on. It's one piece of artwork, one name or something like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on multiple items. So I have my machine set up for that with that design. And I'm just going to go ahead and feed the item into the machine, have it stitched out, take it out, put the other item, have it stitched out, take it out. It becomes like a process, right? when you have one item, you have to set up the machine for that one item. All right. It's not mass produced. So it's going to cost money. So people are going to come to you and they're going to say, hey, do you have a holiday discount? I'm like, no, I don't do holiday discounts. I don't discount at all. I don't even discount in my Etsy shop. Okay. I know I see a lot of people that they go ahead and they put 10% off on their Etsy orders, on their Etsy items, or 20% off or 25% off. I don't do that. You will never, ever see any items in my shop on sale. Just don't do it. I don't do it, okay? Because the price is what it is. It's custom work, all right? Not going to do it. Not this chick. I'm not doing it. Somebody else might. I'm not doing it, okay? And a line that I get a lot, which is kind of funny because I don't fall for it, is when they'll bring you one item and then they said, I have a lot of other orders that I'm going to have coming. So they think that by telling you that you're going to go ahead and say, okay, I'll give you the special price today. And so what I usually do is I say, I price each order individually. That's how I do it. So if you bring me one, you're going to get priced at one. If you bring me 10, 15, 20, that you're going to get the price of the 10, the 15, and the 20. Okay. So, let's be honest. Okay. The holiday season, okay, is not the time for you to underprice yourself. It's in peak demand and your skills are valuable. Make sure that you're getting paid for it. Okay. Don't sell yourself short. People are always looking for something for nothing. So don't come out and be that one. Don't be the one that takes an item, sticks it in their machine, sticks it out for $1. Okay? Because they're going to feel great, but you're going to feel like crap. Trust me, I know. Okay? I've heard the stories. I've heard them all. Okay? So the other issue, the other challenge you're going to have, the quality control under stress. The volume is up. Okay? My machines have been going. They've been working, okay? All three, all right, have been working. I even got my sewing machines working across in the other room as well. So these machines, these babies have been really holding up, okay? But the problem with that is I'm only one person. I'm running this shop by myself. I don't have employees or anything like that and stuff. Now, I do have Carlito, which sometimes Carlito, what he'll do is he'll run upstairs. He'll grab all the packages that I have ready to go out. He'll put them in his car and he'll drive them to the post office for me, which I'm very grateful because that's something that helps me tremendously because that means that I don't have to like shut down the machines or leave the machine running and stuff like that and get in my car and rush and come back. I could just keep focusing on these orders while he's got all the deliveries and stuff. But I am going to tell you something. You're going to get tired. And when you get tired, that's when mistakes happen, okay? So you got to make sure that you're taking those breaks. You got to make sure that even though you have all those orders and even though you're working on all these orders, work them slow. Work them slow. I'm telling you, take care of you, all right? When you decide at the end of the day that it's time for the machines to be shut down because you're exhausted, shut them down. Shut them down, turn them off, turn off the light in the room, and leave the room, okay? Don't even look at your orders or anything like that, okay? Because you need that time for yourself. Don't jip yourself from that time. I'm telling you, you don't. You are tired. You need to relax. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of errors on your orders. You're going to end up with misspellings. And if that happens, then guess what? That means you got to do the order again because it ain't the customer's fault. It's your fault, right? There have been times also when I have embroidered so tired, I forgot to change the color threads. Or if I changed the color threads, I forgot to feed the thread to the machine. All right. Sometimes I even hooped the item incorrectly because I was so exhausted that I just wanted to get out of this room. I just wanted to get out and I just would take the item, just put it there and I just hooped it. Then next thing you know, I look at it and then it's all like crooked. And then I'm like, great. Well, guess what happened? It means now I got to rehoop that item. Okay. Because remember, in embroidery, if you don't even have the item hooped right, you're already at a bad start. You're already at a bad start. So you got to make sure that you are slowing down. Make sure that you're double checking. Okay. Because that's going to save you money. It's going to save you time. Even though sometimes people don't like kind of register that, they say, oh, well, if I'm going slow, that means I'm going to be spending more time in here. No, you're going to be spending more time in here if you start making a lot of mistakes, because that means you're going to be doing a lot of do-overs. Okay. So sometimes the turtle wins the race. All right. So be the turtle. Take your time. Remember, you're doing this because you enjoy it. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to turn on those machines and you're going to do each order and you're going to enjoy the orders. And when you really feel exhausted, that's when you know you got to shut it down and then you got to go get your rest. Okay. Because in the long run, all right, that is really what's going to save you money and it's really going to help you. Okay. Now, the other challenge is the machine wear and the breakdowns. I already told you about the breakdown with my labor printer, okay? Well, embroidery machines have their little issues too, okay? They can have attitude, all right? If you don't show them the proper love, they will, give you the finger every now and then. I had Boricua number 2 give me the finger today, okay? I was embroidering golf towel and I got a bird's nest twice. All right. And I'm thinking, why the hell is that doing it? Well, you know what? Maybe I should have changed those needles and maybe I should have cleaned it out better. Okay. Which I got lazy. Yes, I did. I got lazy. I did not, I usually clean out my machines before I go to bed. Okay. And then in the morning, I come in and I change the needles. Now, during this time, I change my needles every other day. So believe me, I go through needles like crazy. Today, I decided to skip it. I was like, whatever. I was like, turn it on, bring on the design. I put the towel in there and I just hit. The other 2 babies were doing fine. Number 2 gave me the finger. She was like, oh, you don't want to oil me? Well, take that. And it gave me a bird's nest. And I was like, oh, great. So I cleaned up the bird's nest and all that kind of stuff and everything. Stuck it back in, bird's nest again. And I was like, beautiful. I said, let me just do a complete maintenance on this machine so that I can get this done. And I did. And now she's running beautifully. Okay. So pay attention to that. This is a time when your machines are really, really, really working hard. So if you want them to really work hard for you and to do well, then you got to make sure that you are running the proper maintenance during this time. Okay. So, you got to make sure that, you are taking care of these machines. Another thing that I want to tell you guys too, if you're not taking care of your machines and this is your busy season, just like it is mine, and let's say I didn't get a bird's nest. Let's say Boricua number 2 decided to really give it to me good and something broke and I couldn't repair it or fix it. Well, good luck getting somebody to come over here to help me fix that machine during rush hour. Well, not really rush hour, rush season, let's say. Okay. I mean, think about it. What are the chances of me getting Justin over here right away? I mean, he may come at a price. He might be like, gee, Jeanette, I might have to charge you a rush fee myself, just like we charge rush fees. I'm sure he has his rush fees as well, So that is one thing. And think about this. If you only have one machine, that one machine goes belly up on you, you're totally hosed. I have 3. So if one goes bad, I got the other 2 that can take over. Right? I won't be happy about it because the whole purpose of getting more machines is so you can work faster. So when that machine goes down, that means the other 2 can take over, but it's still going to take longer because it's not like I have more time. You know what I'm saying? So maintenance, Very, very, very important. Make sure that you are getting that maintenance, okay? Now, down number 8, all right, the communication. It's going to be an overload, all right? You're going to get it from everywhere. You're going to get people reaching out to you through email. They're going to reach out to you to Facebook, Instagram. They're going to text you. And it's very, very easy for you to miss messages too, okay? And missing a message during the holiday can cause a big issue, all right? So you got to make sure that you are setting your holiday hours and your responses are meeting the expectations, okay? Make sure that when you're communicating with a customer, you're getting clear guidance and you know what the requirements are. Now, this is something that is very challenging, especially during this season. I'm going to tell you what happened this year to me. I had a customer, dropped off stockings, left them on my front porch. No discussion, never reached out, never said anything. Just showed up here, left them on the chair of my front porch. After they delivered the stockings on my front porch, okay, they texted me and said, hey, these are the names I need on there. Not even a hi, how are you? Just a drop off. So I opened up the stockings and I saw that the stockings were not embroiderable. Okay, they were not stockings that I can embroider. The reason why is because they had certain objects that were sewn on the cuff of the stocking. And the stockings were small. So there was just no way that I was going to put that in the machine. I even looked at the items that were sewn on the cuff of it, and I saw that it was sewn with very thick thread. So I knew that if I removed that thread, it would be a hole in the cuff. So I wrote back and I said, got your stockings, can't do it. I don't have it on the schedule. It doesn't fit in my machine and stuff like that. And, you know, to me, it was a little frustrating because she just dropped it off. Okay. No discussion, no communication. Didn't even ask me how much it was going to cost. Didn't ask me, you know, if I had the time. Okay. So people can be pretty inconsiderate during this time period. They really, really can. So be careful. Be careful because I don't know how some of your personalities are. I know I am I can be kind of aggressive. My sister kind of says I'm a little too aggressive sometimes, you know, because I'm extremely direct. I have no problems calling people out, you know, but I do know that there's some people that take things for heart, right? And, you know, they'll feel obligated and don't speak up. You know, I have to be honest with you. You have to. You have to speak up, okay? And I even told her in the future, okay, you can't drop things off. I don't accept orders that are dropped off in my front porch. I require consultation time with you. And I do with all my customers. This is custom work. This is not McDonald's or something like that, okay? Where you just do the drive-by and you pick up a hamburger and go. And all the Big Macs are all the same. No. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different, you know, and people don't understand that. And sometimes I feel, especially during this season, that's the last thing they want to do is they want to have conversations with you. They don't want to have that. They don't want to talk to you about the different fonts that you have available. They don't want to talk to you about the different shades of red and white and all that kind of stuff and everything. They just want to give it to you. You process it and they get it back. However, though, when you tell them the price, then all of a sudden, they got time to conversate because they want that discount, okay? Then all of a sudden, they're like, oh, it's that much? Because I had one customer said that to me. And one customer came out and she wanted me to embroider a stocking, right? It was just one stocking. Told the price. Oh, I didn't know that was expensive. That's the price. That's the price. The process ain't changed. It still takes time, you know, especially for one stocking. I'm like, no, the price is the price. Now, she agreed to the order and everything, and I embroidered it, and she paid what I asked and all that kind of stuff, and it's all good. However, though, people don't realize that embroidery is expensive. It really, truly is. It's not cheap. Thread is up, everything's up. So if you guys are out there billing people like $1 per thousand, $1.50 per thousand, y'all need to cut that out. I'm serious. You need to bill your time, okay, with your supplies. That's what you need to do. And I know a lot of people out there that want to sell embroidery don't want to do that, because that means that they got to actually sit down and think about it. But I'm going to be honest, this is my take on it. You're in business to make money, not to lose it. Okay? You can't be doing that. And you can't go around and think to yourself, well, the person in California, or better yet, the person in Tennessee or whatever, sells labels for, I don't know, does the embroidery on a stocking for $5. So that's the going rate. I'll charge $5 too. Meanwhile, your thread costs $30 a spool. You think you're going to make money? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you understand. Okay. You make sure that you got to understand. Okay. Now, the other challenge, and I talked a little bit about this, but it's about the shipping and the delivery issues. Okay. Once an order leaves your shop, shipping delays out of your control. But you know what? Even though it's out of your control, the customers are going to look to you, because they have done that to me. Okay. I will give them the tracking number and all that kind of stuff. And then they say, oh, I didn't get it. Okay. Well, did you reach the post office? Because their responsibility to now deliver it to you, not mine. I made the item, I packaged the item, and I gave it to the post office. You got a tracking number. That's between you and them. Okay. Holiday shipping is totally unpredictable. Customers should know that. Okay. So, that's why I always tell people, make sure that when you're placing orders for the holidays, make sure that you encourage people to order early. Okay. Also, have your shipping cutoff dates. Okay. You should do that, because then it's like, nope. And then also put disclaimers on your products and say, it is not your responsibility. The carrier is the one that's responsible for it. All right. So make sure you put that in there and stuff. I mean, shipping is really a huge thing. It really, truly is. Make sure you put insurance on your packaging, okay, with a tracking number. Usually when you get a label that has a tracking number, usually it has insurance and stuff. Be real careful. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that are hustlers out there. They'll come out and they'll say that they never got something when they did. Be careful with that as well. All right. So the biggest challenge of all is the burnout. And that's when I say, that's when you really have to get smart, and you have to make sure that when you're running your business during the holidays, that you have your business processes in place. You know how you're going to handle your business, how you're going to handle customers, how you're going to handle orders that come in. Let me tell you, this year I have been turning down orders because I want my me time. And yeah, I'm retired, but you know what? I still want my me time. Okay. I don't want to wake up and spend the whole day in here. I want to go out for walks with Mello. Okay. I actually want to sit down and watch a movie on Netflix, or I want to go to a winery and just hang out. All right. And I got other things I have to do. Like today I met with my accountant, okay, to go over all my my business accounts and everything. Be meeting with her again tomorrow. There's other things that I need to do. I can't just be in front of the embroidery machine all day. All right. And then yesterday, I worked on my orders in the morning. I shut down my machines, went over to my neighbor's house, and we quilted Carlito's quilt. I finished it. Well, I didn't finish it. I still now have to do the binding. Okay. So, you want to make sure that you take care of yourself. Okay. Because you're going to be working long hours. And then you also have family obligations. So, and you're always trying to make all these customers happy, your family happy. Make yourself happy, because you count. You're important. Okay. So don't let other people tell you that you're not important and that you don't mean anything or whatever. Okay. You got to put yourself first. Always, always put yourself first. You're no good to no one if you're not good to yourself. Okay. So yesterday, what I did, like I was saying, went to Carol's and we did Cordito's quilt. Let me show you how it came out. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but I don't think you can. But I'm going to put it up a little bit closer so you can see. I don't know if you can see the stitching. See how the stitching is right here? She actually put it on a long arm. So the problem with this, though, is the pattern that I picked for Cardito was pretty busy, right? You know, I did the diamonds, you know, and I really love the way it came out. No block. And it was not on purpose. It just showed up like that. No block looks the same. Okay? So it looks gorgeous. It's gorge. I'm telling you, it's gorge, 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 gorge. And I think you can kind of see some of the quilting. We put it on a long arm, okay? And I got to tell you guys, now I want a long arm. I want one. Oh my God, I saw that long arm the way it works. I was like, I want one. I think maybe I'll see if I can get one, put it in the basement. I don't know where the hell I'm going to put it, but they did it. What I did this morning was I serged the edges, okay? So I took my serger and I serged all the edges. Now I'm going to do black binding and put it on the edge, okay? So, you know, but I have to sew the binding together, and then I'm going to sew the binding on here. And then I have a label that I'm going to embroider, and then I'm going to sew the label to the back of his quilt. And this is the back of his quilt. So in the corner on the back of his quilt, I'm going to put a nice little note from mom to my son. And it was funny because I told him, I said, when I die, it'll be something that you have that I made, you know. So, you know, and then he kind of looked at me like, what do you mean by that? And I'm like, well, we all gonna go one day, you know. But I want him to have something that I made for him. And I'm pretty proud of it. My sister was the one that I bought the they call it cake layer squares, right? The 10-inch squares. And I was just going to sew the squares together. And it was actually Nancy that gave me the idea of do diamonds. And I didn't know how. So when she was here with my mom, she actually showed me how to cut the diamonds and put them together and stuff like that. So I did that. And then I did the borders between each block in white. And so now I'm going to do the edging in the black, you know, in black binding. So really happy and excited about this. And I have to admit, I am now really starting to enjoy quilting. I really am. I think that, you know, quilting is a lot of fun. And making these quilts, it's like, wow, I don't think I will ever buy another bedspread, guys. I really don't. Now I'm on into the sewing thing, okay? I still love embroidery, don't get me wrong. I love it. But I'm really starting to feel this quilting stuff because I feel like it's just so nice. And I don't think I'll ever buy another bedspread. I think I will make my own. You're an official quilter. Yes, I think I'm going to make my own bedspreads. I think I'm going to quilt my own tote bags. You know, my sister was talking about a quilted vest. I guess people are buying patterns to do quilted vests. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that would probably be so cute because you could get the fabrics and the different colors and all that kind of stuff. So cool. So Yeah. So yes, I caught. You are right, Robin. I caught the quilting bug. I did. My sister got it first, and she's now doing all these quilting kits and all that kind of stuff. And I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever. But now that I did Cardito's quilt and I did my cousin's quilt, I really do enjoy, um, you know, creating all this stuff. I mean, it's really, really, really nice. I'm even thinking maybe I could quilt a scarf. I'm coming up with all these ideas and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god! I mean, so super cute. So now that I got Betty a quilt, and Cardito's quilt, I'm gonna see if I can finish it this weekend. All I have to do is just do the binding now, and then I'm good. Um, I want to do a quilt for Fred. I would love to do one for my sister and my mom. Um, and I'm also working on a library quilt for a good friend of mine, which I only got 3 rows. It's an applique quilt, and I will tell you, a lot of freaking work. I'm like, oh my God. I'm even thinking, do I want to give it away after I finish it? Because I may now, you know, I totally understand now why quilters are very particular about who they give their quilts to. I would too, because it is just so much work and effort that goes into making these items. These are not things that are pumped out of a factory and stuff like that. The person that creates these quilts had to put so much time and effort into them. It is not something to sneeze at all. So if anyone out there is ever gifted a quilt, you really have to appreciate that, because the time, the effort, the love. I mean, you always hear people say a quilt tells a story. So, to me, this quilt tells a story between me and my son. And it's the story that I want the quilt to say is going to be on the label. So the label is going to be kind of big, because I want to say something really special to my son. So and I will show you guys what it's going to say when I'm done with it, but it's something that I want it to be really special to him. I want it to be something that as he gets older, that he holds to his heart, because like I said, everyone has his time. So, I know there's going to be a time when I'm not going to be around for him, but I want him to have something that I particularly made for him. And I feel that that is like the best thing. So now it's like my sister was so into this quilting thing. And now that I have done a quilt for my cousin Betty, and now I'm doing one for, I did one for Cardito, I understand, and when I talk to my neighbor now, it's like, I truly understand what that means when they say, a quilt is extremely, extremely special. It really, truly is. So it's like, yeah, I got converted. I got converted and stuff. Now, the only thing that I'm pissed off about is I'm having tension issues with my Juki machine right now. So I'm going to have to probably get that serviced. But that's okay. I got my brother SC1900. So I'm going to be putting that baby to work. That is going to be working, to put the binding on Cardito's quilt. So I'm going to be taking down my Juki, and I'm going to put my SC1900 to work and sew on the rest of that quilt and stuff. And then when Justin comes in, which I was supposed to have him here in, a month ago, but I got so busy. Now I'm going to have him come in January. So when he comes in, I'm going to ask him, sit down with him, and I'm going to ask him really teach me about that Juki machine, because it's a straight stitch machine, and it's a manual. It's not like a computerized one, but I really want to learn how to adjust that tension and everything and work it, because I need that machine to really work, because now I really want to do those quilts and I want to use that machine a lot. So yeah. So you guys know also that next Friday it's going to be, and if I remember correctly, it's going to be the show and tell for the Christmas. So I'm pretty excited about it. So, just to let you guys know, the way we're going to do it is just like always, I will go on, I will show you guys what I got. I will share the link in the chat so that all the Esthers that participated in this gift exchange can come on live with me, and then we can show off all these great gifts that we did. So so this year I usually embroider, but this year what I did for my Esther was, because I kept saying I want to sew, I want to sew, I want to sew, I actually sewed my gift. Now I know it's not a perfect gift, but I was determined to do it, and I was like, it's gonna be loved anyway. So, but I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to see what everybody got. So this is gonna be like really, really, really super cool. Okay. So I am gonna go over to the chat now because I want to say hi to you guys and stuff, see how everybody's doing and everything. And I hope you guys liked some of the information that I shared with you today. I know that some of it is kind of like stuff that I've told you guys in the past, but sometimes we need that little reminder, right? We need to know, because this is the time where everybody's going to be driving you crazy. Okay. This is the thing I want to tell you guys also. Don't be afraid to say no. Okay. That is one of the faults that a lot of us people, especially creators, have. We don't want to say no to people. You have to. Okay. You got to put yourself first. And you got to remember, sometimes, people can be pretty selfish. They just want something, and they don't seem to realize, what they're asking sometimes can be a lot. Okay. Which is why, like, when the person was with one stock, they were like, oh, that's expensive. I'm thinking to myself, do you know how much work that is? And you could even get snippy. You could come out and go buy your own machine. You could get snippy and stuff. But, the thing is, in all honesty, sometimes you got to think about it on the other side as well. Some of these customers don't really know what it takes to embroider. They really don't. Okay. They don't understand the cost of the machines. They don't understand the cost of your electricity, how much those machines pull. They don't understand how much it costs to get all these threads and stabilizers, the proper frames and everything. They see these beautiful projects or products that you produce for them, and they just think, oh, this is beautiful, I love it. But what ends up happening is that the stuff that happens in the background, they don't see it. They're not in your shop, so they don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they probably think it's just a simple machine. You press the button and it doesn't matter. They don't understand that even though you press that button, sometimes you still have to, depending on what it is, you might have to babysit the item until it completely embroiders. And that's your time. And your time is worth something. Your time is definitely worth something. So make sure you're charging appropriately. I see a lot of people out there are charging dirt cheap. And I am telling you that it's not sustainable. You are not going to make it, even if you're doing it as a hobby. Okay. And you go ahead and you want to, oh, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, M. I appreciate that. Oh, Margot. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Wow. My whole thing is, I lost track of the super chat. I'm sorry. What I'm telling you guys is, you don't want to jip yourself. You really, truly don't. Okay. You got to price appropriately, because even like, let me give you an example. Let's say you don't really run a business, right? You don't really run a business, but you kind of do it as a hobby on the side. Let's just say something on the side, because I'm gonna be honest, I do this as a business because I'm hoping that this is a business that Cardito in time will be able to take over, because it's really difficult for these young folks out here today. It's not like the time when I grew up, that I graduated college and there were lots of jobs out there, and everything was affordable if you had a pretty good job and stuff. Things are a little on the crazy side right now. Okay. So these young kids are really, really struggling. So the way I looked at it is, let me see if I can, I started this business so that I could pay for Cardito's dorm, because I had already had saved for his college. But now that he's done with that, now I have to think about, okay, what, he he's doing Instacart, but he doesn't have a job. And I feel like a lot of people out there that I talk to, other parents of adult children, their children are struggling too. They have children that have graduated college and are working in supermarkets, doing Instacart and everything, have a college degree and nothing, right? And it's no fault of their own. It's just that times have changed. They have changed a lot, and it's very, very difficult. So, even if you're doing this as a hobby, okay, you don't want to charge so low that you lose, okay? Think of it this way. If you're making money on the side, that's money you can use to buy fabrics for yourself so that you can work on projects, or you can buy threads and all that kind of stuff. Think of it that way, okay? Hey, Mello, I'm sorry. Okay, you wanted to say hi? All right, I'm sorry. Mello wanted to say hi. Sorry, guys. All right, there he is. Okay, did you say hi? It's Christmas time. Yes, it is. It's Christmas. Everybody loves Mello. Yes, I know. Okay. All right, so there you go. You got your cameo. Okay. He always likes to come and say hi. So, just don't sell yourself short and stuff, because what happens is they gain, you lose. And to me, it's not about sticking it to anybody. It really isn't. I always tell people, I believe in charging what is fair. Okay. I'm not out there to empty out your pocket. That's not what I'm about. I'm out there so that you can get a good quality product that you want. And at the same time, I earned your business. Okay. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Okay. So I charge a certain rate because I know I use quality thread. I use good quality digitizers, and I make sure that my stuff is top notch. Okay. I am not, so to me, it's like, if you want good quality embroidery, then this is how much it's going to cost. All right. Now, if you want cheap embroidery, well, guess what? I can pull out my cheap thread. Okay. I have threads that are pretty cheap and all that kind of stuff and everything. But in all honesty, I wouldn't do that, because the thing is, I don't want that type of reputation, right? I want to make sure that when people talk about me and they talk about the stuff that come out of my shop, they're like, that's top-notch quality. Okay. She takes the time. That's why it's important for me is I don't do that porch drop off. You're not going to take stuff. You're not going to put it on my porch and run away and then say, just do it. No, you're going to meet me. We're going to talk about your project. I want you to see the quality the threads that I use. I need you to see the colors. I want you to be physically here to pick those colors. I want you to see that test stitch. I even want you to feel it. Can you feel the test stitch? I want you to understand that I'm going to be using the cutaway stabilizer. I want to look at the product with you and explain to you whether I need 1 or 2 sheets. That way you can understand why my pricing is where it is, okay? If you drop something off on the porch, I don't have that opportunity to have that conversation with you, okay? I understand it's the holidays. I understand that you're really busy and stuff, but guess what? So am I. And by you doing something like that, well, guess what? If you would have just met with me in the first place, could have got all this done quicker. Because if you would have knocked on my door and said, hey, I have these items, I want to get them embroidered, I could have opened the bag and right there, I could have told you right on the spot. Can't do it because of this. Okay. This won't come off. Can't put that in the machine. Would have saved you a lot of time. Would have saved me a lot of time. So, don't sell yourself short, guys. Seriously. Don't do that. Okay. And stuff, remember, love yourself. If you don't love you, nobody's going to love you. Okay. I know that sometimes people say that's selfish. No, it's not. It's not selfish. You're supposed to take care of you. You're supposed to. Okay. Because if you don't take care of you, you're no good for nobody. I tell it to my son all the time. Don't ever allow anybody to make you feel like you should not come first. You should. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take care about other people. You're supposed to take care of other people. You're supposed to care for them too. But you're no good to nobody if you don't care for yourself. And you got to care for your business. If if you're doing embroidery as a business, you got to care about your business, and you got to care and love it, because if you don't love it, they're not going to love it. They're not going to respect it. So you got to make sure you do that. So I'm going to go down the chat, and thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That really helps. Miss Margot Croquet. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Aw. Okay, so I'm gonna go down. I saw Bob is here. How you doing, Bob? How are you? I see Cynthia's in here. Hey, Shayna, how are you? Oh, I can't wait for you to start posting again, okay? And so, oh my goodness. How about coquitos last week? Needed that. And I got my coquito. And let me tell you guys about supporting people. There's another Jeanette in our Facebook group, and she does these coquito stickers. Check out. So I bought from her, and it says Woods Family Coquito. Let me put it on here so you guys can see. Ain't that cute? And she has a whole bunch of stuff. She's got the tags, the labels, and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna put the link to her Etsy listing for this in our Facebook group so that you guys can see it. If you can't order for this year, at least keep her in mind for next year, or order after Christmas and stuff. Then you just keep them. They're just stickers and stuff. I thought these were perfect because what I plan on doing is I plan on making more of these coquitos, and I'm planning on sharing it with my neighbors. That's what I want to do. So I'm pretty excited about that and stuff. So yeah, and let me see. I got something that came through. I'm sorry, guys. Came through real quick. Okay. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, I'm good. I'm sorry, guys. All right, and then I see Giant. Giant Services. How are you doing, baby Giant? Okay, she's got a question here. Where do you get your 65-9 needles from? Do you use sharp or ballpoint? I'm wanting to purchase some for my brother and the baby lot. Okay. Where I get them from All Stitch. Okay. And I usually get them by the bulk. All right. If you go on All Stitch, and I have the link in the video description. If you click on that, you'll see it. If you go to their site, I select 65-9, and I always get the ballpoint. The only time you would use a sharp needle is if you're embroidering something like, let's say, a hat, okay, or fabric that is really, really stiff, okay. You do not want to use a sharp needle on any type of fabric that's like a shirt, okay, because you know how these stretch, right? Any type of stretch fabric, you don't. Sharp needles are sharp. Think of it this way, okay? A sharp needle is so sharp that when it hits the fabric, it will split the fabric in half. And even though it'll embroider it, and you won't see that split within time, when you wash that item and everything, you're going to start seeing holes in your shirt. So what you want to do is you want to get like a ballpoint needle. The ballpoint needle has the needle that it's pointy and it's sharp, but it has a rounded edge. So when it goes to your shirt and it goes through, what it does is it goes in between the fibers, okay? It kind of opens up the fibers and it goes in between. It doesn't cut your fibers, it just goes between them. And then it goes and it embroiders, right? So what happens is when you wash it and all that kind of stuff, you're not going to have any holes or anything in your shirt. So, baby Giant, I hope that helps. I know I gave you a little more than what you asked, but I just like to always educate, because you never know when you're asking questions, there might be somebody else that has that question and just doesn't understand. But I always go to allstitch.com, because I find that they're easier to order from them, because you can get the right needles and right there everything works. I mean, I don't like getting them from Amazon, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because sometimes Amazon doesn't really list the correct needle, the type of needle. Okay, I like to use the EBBR, which is for the semi-commercial, industrial, machine, for machines like Brother. Okay, then they have the HAX style needle. That's the model, and that's usually for juki machines and stuff like that, quilting machines and everything like that. So, I just find that it's easier for you to order from there, because sometimes when you order from Amazon, Amazon, if you think about it, Amazon is really like Etsy, right? It's just a platform, and then you have a whole bunch of vendors, and they create their own listings. So sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, right? So I don't want to be bothered with that. I'd rather deal with a company that they're the ones that have the supplies and everything like that. So I go to them and I order, and I know what I'm going to get, and I get good quality stuff. So I do like shopping from there. To get free shipping though, it's like you got to get like, I don't know, like you got to spend $175 if I remember correctly to get free shipping from them. But what I do, guys, to not get around it, but what I do is when I order from All Stitch, when I buy my needles, I buy by bulk. Okay, so usually I'll buy like 10 boxes or something like that. So that way I have enough needles to last me for like, a couple of months or a year, right? Because I change my needles a lot, and I have 10 needle machines, and I have a 6 needle machine. So changing them every week, of course, I go through my needles and stuff, but I bulk buy. So that way, when I bulk buy, I did spend more than $175, and then I get my free shipping that way. Okay. That's how I usually do it and stuff. Hey, Gay Paris Jr., how are you? How you doing? Boss Man Mellow. Boss Man Mellow's been very mellow. I don't know what it is with him. Oh, she said, I got my Esther gift, and I'm super excited to show it off. I've seen my Esther got their gift a couple of days ago too. Can't wait to see it. Oh, that's so cool. See, all the gifts are coming in. Happy Friday from Japan. My 2 youngest grandsons are spending the night, and granddaughter is so excited. They're having a blast. Gonna try to listen in. Oh, have fun with your grandbabies, Robin. Hey, Renee Stitch Seams, how are you? How you doing? Hey, Evelyn, how are you? How you doing? Oh, not muted. The video is perfect too. Thank you, Shauna. Okay. Because sometimes we be having these technical difficulties here. Hey, Iris, how are you? How you doing? Amen to your time. I know. I got all this free time. I don't know what to do with myself. It's fun. It's fun. I can't believe it. I'm like, wow, I'm retired. Feels good. It really does feel good. Oh. Okay. Hey, Letitia, how are you? How you doing? Pretty Eyes is in the house. How are you? I see Marlene's in the house too. Merry Christmas. Let's see. I see Pearl Lucas. How are you? How you doing? Mm-hmm. Hey, Iris, how are you? I see Deborah. Hey, Nancy, how are you? She's lucky I don't live near her, because I would have went over there and used Miss Molly to finish my binding on Cardito's quilt. Can't believe my Juki machine's messing up. Can't believe it, but it happens. It happens. Hey, Eartha, how are you? How you doing? Hey, Beth and Chuck, how are you? How you doing? Oh, I noticed my orders this Christmas has increased. Word of mouth. That's what happens, Marlene. I'm telling you. That's what I keep telling you guys. It is so important. You guys do quality work. That work is your advertisement. I'm telling you, it really is. A lot of times people think, oh, you got to push your stuff out there and stuff like that. Trust me, if you do really, really good work, your customers will be your advertisers because they're going to be showing it off. Okay. And stuff. That's why I tell you guys also be careful about allowing people to, letting people negotiate prices and all that kind of stuff. Don't do it. You got your price. You know why you priced it. Stick to it. Because the moment that you allow a customer to lower, that tell you to lower your price, all your customers are going to do it. The word's out. The word is out. They're going to say, oh, she'll give you that price, but don't worry about it. Talk her down. She'll do it. Don't do it. So see, word of mouth. All of it, word of mouth. Just like they talked about how good your embroidery is, Marlene. I'm telling you, they'll talk about everything else. So make sure that the talk is straight. Got to make sure the talk is straight and stuff. Hey, Beth, how are you? How you doing? Watching Happy Hour, working on bulk skating club order tonight. I'm happy my hobby business is really taking off. Yes, overwhelming with Christmas orders. That's awesome. That's what I love to hear. I love, love, love seeing other people just like do their thing. I just love it because I am a true believer that there is enough for everybody. There is enough for everybody. We should be helping each other out. Okay. And, it's like what's sad. And what was it? I think I was having a conversation with somebody. Oh, yeah, it was a friend of mine. And one of the things that I told him was, it's just a shame. I really do. I feel like it's a shame because I feel that we have turned into a society where we take enjoyment in seeing other people fail. It's like that's what we do. We want to see other people fail. And we take enjoyment of it. It's like it's very rare when you see people cheer other people on and talk about the success of other people and be happy for them. It's like we don't know how to be happy for other people. I don't know why, because the thing is, it's like there's enough for everybody. There really is. There's enough for everybody. I mean, how much do you need? So it's like, to me, help each other out. And I think this is so awesome, Roxanne. And I am so happy for you. It's like a dream come true. It really is. It's like a dream come true. It's like you're doing what makes you happy. And you're seeing you're growing. So I think this is so awesome. This is so awesome. Missing in action, cruising. That's right, Nancy. Marlene is out there having a good time. Okay, she's enjoying life. Okay, she's enjoying life. That's what she's been doing. Hey, Miss Big Fake, how you doing? How are you? Let's see. She said, no worries. He had a great time on that cruise. She did. I saw those pictures. She had a really good time on those cruises. Okay. Let's see. Oh, almost didn't make it. Albie ended up in the ER with a hernia. Oh, surgery struggle. Oh, he'll be fine. Stay positive. Stay positive. And stuff. Everything's going to come out okay. Nothing. Stop, watch, blue hand timer is ever quick for me. Once I think it's going to be a quickie, then my software or computer wants to try me. Then it takes longer. Yes. Sometimes things just don't go as planned in life, right? It just takes you in a whole other direction, okay? And tries your patience. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I was on the phone with Rolo support, and I was telling them, I want to take this thing, throw it out the window. This is my second one. And I bought it because the other one did last me a long time. Everything has its end of life, okay? Everything has its end of life. Products do too, okay? Which is why when that one started to sparkle and all that kind of stuff, the printer, I said, Okay, maybe it's sewn. You know, you get a dishwasher. Dishwasher is only going to last you so long. You buy a car. The car is only going to last you so long. Things are eventually going to break down. Okay. You take care of it as much as you can, and so that you can have it for a very long time. But there's going to be a moment where you're going to have to replace it. And that first printer treated me really well. So I looked at it as, man, that printed a lot of orders and stuff. So I'll just stick with the same brand. I don't want to learn another brand or anything like that. I'll just stick with that, you know. So, right, Mello? So we said we're going to stick with roller. I didn't want to learn, and especially like it was what, September. So it wasn't really like this time of season. But this is not the time. If it broke down in January, then I would probably, well, I would still say something, because think about it. It's brand new. I bought it in September. Should at least give me a year of life, you know. But what you gonna do? So hopefully I will be meeting with them tomorrow at 11. So hopefully while I'm on the support with them, they can tell me what is going on. Like what is going on, you know, really, because it's not stopping where it's supposed to stop when I'm printing. So, and what ends up happening is you end up throwing away a lot of labels. That's not good. That's not good. That's a waste. I don't want to waste. When you're running a business, stuff like that gets under your skin, because to someone, you know, to you, it might be, well, Jeanette, it's only 3 cents a label. Yeah, but you know what? If you mess up 50 labels, that's a lot of 3 cents. Okay. You know, you keep tying them up. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of, it can add up. So, and you know, it's like, no, I need to watch my pennies. I really do. And that's, you know, that's why I'm like, no, that's not going to work for me. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, I just mailed an order to North Carolina. The shipping priority was $25. I charged the client and she was fine. Wow. See, but some people are okay with that, you know, and stuff. And Bob said, oh yeah, my 500, that's it. Yep. 500 meter of thread for $50. It was the Madeira reflective thread, and it's very hard to work with. $50. And guys, one spool of thread. 500 meters, one spool of thread. $50. $50. When Bob emailed, when he texted me and he told me how much that thread cost, I think it was like this, it was earlier this week, he texted me that. I said, let me tell you, that thread better light up like a flashlight. That's what I said. I said, that thing better be bright. It better look like that person walked in with that embroidery. That embroidery better light up the room. For $50, I was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. That is. So everything is going up. Everything's going up. 2 orders to work on. A local resident wants to embroider his or hers on the back of a sporting canvas chair. Be the first time doing it. I had an order of chairs and they wanted me to embroider. I could not do it because the back of the chairs did not come out. One of the things that I did want to do was I made the patches, and we did it with Velcro. We put the patches on the chairs. That's how we did that. I usually just buy my yearly stock on stabilizers, needles, Black Friday sales. That way I won't be stuck during the Christmas rush. Smart. Very, very, very smart. Because you're right. Because at that time, they start offering the free shipping, the coupon codes and all that stuff. Very, very, very smart. Yep, that's a smart way to do it. I spent the gift card my mother-in-law gives me on Christmas very early on. All Stitch and Black Friday sale. There you go. There you go. How do you print all the labels at once? What I do with the Etsy is you can print all. You can select all, and then you hit the print. But I usually, honestly, I just print one label at a time and stuff. But the thing is, what's happening is it's not stopping at the perforation. And you know, because these labels are perforated, so they're not stopping in the right spot. And then what happens is they kind of like they print like half, so it's not working. So yeah, Now, I will say this about Rollo Printer, okay? They actually sent me a free box of labels. And I think it's because I told the guy, you wasted a lot of my labels. So he goes, I'm going to send you a free box. So I thought that was really sweet of them. They didn't have to do that because we only use 10 labels. But I think because I mentioned something, he said, let me send her a box, which I was like, oh, okay. So that made me happy. That made me happy. Oh, check this out. My Rollo printer sparks and prints one label, then runs and runs and runs wild. I don't ship often, so I have just dealt with it and unplug it between uses. And you know what, Craftsman, Heather? I mean, that's what I've been trying. I have to turn it on and off, plug it off, do it one at a time. And I don't want to have to do this all the time because this is a thing. Every time that you do this, you're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to do this. So I got a feeling that I'm gonna have to ask around and see if I don't want to do a commercial grade thermal printer, even though this is supposed to be commercial, supposed to be for small businesses. But I'm looking for another brand because if Rollo can't fix it, and I'm on the third call with them, if they really can't fix it permanently, then I'm going to have to just go, okay, this isn't working for me, and try to invest in another thermal printer. But I need to find out which other one is really good for a small business and stuff. And then what am I going to do with all these labels? Hopefully I can still use them. I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it just sucks, because I have the printer. I like the printer, but it's just not working for me. It really isn't. So I'm like, blah, that sucks. But when mine started to spark, I kind of got scared because I was thinking, oh, is that going to be a fire or something like that? So I tossed it out because I had it for so long. So I figured, let me just buy a new one. That's what I figured. So yeah. Better be pissed off than be pissed off. You got that right. You ain't pissing on me because I pissed back. I cancel people's order if they don't get back to me in 48 hours. Yeah, and I started doing the same thing. I started to say, I even have people on Etsy, they order something and they want me to customize it, but different from what the actual listing is. First of all, you guys got to be careful because sometimes people, you say, I will personalize it. When I say I'm going to personalize it, I'm saying, give me a name. I'm not saying you go ahead and you put a name, a date, a full thing telling me to change the design. No, we're not doing that kind of customization. I said a name, and people are tripped. So I just cancel the order. Sometimes I'm like, let me be nice. They just want a little extra. I'll give them a little extra. But then when I write back and I say, well, that's not it, but I'll do it. Then they say, oh, can you add this too? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So people go a little bit kind of crazy on the extra, Oh. But that's the printer I have. Yeah, Bob just sent me the Rollo printer shipping label. Yeah. That's the printer I have, and that's the one I'm having issues. That's the exact same one. The exact one that I have. Because Bob just sent me a text to tell me what printer he's using. And I'm gonna show you guys. Let me move my coquito because I don't want to spill my coquito. Okay, because that's the good stuff. Yeah, it's a Rollo printer. This is it. My Rollo printer. And this is the new one. It's supposed to be commercial grade. It's supposed to be good. And cleaned it, everything. It's not working. I don't know. It's not working for me. It's ticking me off because I like the printer. It's nice. It's small, compact. But it's not, I don't know. Maybe I got a lemon, and stuff. They said it's under a year's warranty, And then let me see. Croft is saying, Heather said, I just finished cleaning all my surfaces, wiping them down. It feels so good. Oh, let me think. It does. It feels good when you clean your stuff. I always like to clean my stuff before I go to bed too, because that way in the morning when I come in, everything is nice and clean and is organized, and I can just work. That's how I like to do. Yeah, but no, this it's the same printer, the same one. It's not working for me. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Ozzy, how are you? How you doing? Let me see. Had a Russian border job from someone who runs a screen printing shop. Did 25 hoodie backs in 12 hours. Charged rush fee, no bulk discount. I just have one mighty hoop, and no hooping station. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But people will pay for good quality, okay? People will pay for good quality, and that's what you want. Honestly, you want people that are going to value your work. That's, you don't want to chase the customers that want those discounted prices, because it's not worth it, guys. It really truly is not. It really isn't. You're not aggressive. We can say that you are straight to the point. I am, but I can be aggressive. You could ask my sister more, because sometimes she's like, "Woof, there goes Jeanette," especially if it's a bad situation. I'll be like, "Oh, wait, what's going on over here? I got something to say," right there. Nancy's like, "That's Jeanette." I mean, because I am just like straight to my. You will always know where you stand with me. You always know, okay? I am very quick with the mouth. Sometimes, though, I do think that is a fault, that I am quick with the mouth, because sometimes I should shut and think before I speak. But hey, you know how I feel. You know how I feel. You know how I took it. Okay, so that's just this is who I am. Let's see. Oh, I had a Thanksgiving weekend deadline for Christmas orders. I had someone call this week with a large order and wanted a discount. Then I refused to take the order. She became angry. You know what, Lydian? Let me tell you about that, okay? I have people pissed off at me too. One year, which actually was last year, Christmas Eve, no call, rang my bell, and wanted to know if I could do some embroidery right then and there. I was like, really? And then when I said, it's Christmas Eve, it's the 24th. I mean, I was like, okay, this is how much it'll be if I have to go upstairs and turn on the machine. They go, well, they didn't want to pay that much. I said, no, I'm not doing it. And then I just told them, I'm really not doing it. I don't want to. That's what I just told them. I don't want to. Okay, I'm done. People are mean. And let me tell you something. You didn't lose a good customer. You did not. Let her be mad. Let her be mad. Let her get angry. She'll get over it. She'll get over it. Let her find someone else that'll do her embroidery for $1. Okay? It ain't you. You're not the sucker. That's all. She's just mad because she couldn't manipulate you to do what she wanted you to do at a low cost. Okay? No, it don't work like that. This is the thing. And I think my neighbor said it to me best. She says, people don't realize how inconsiderate they can be to other people. They really don't. And that's why, because when I saw her long arm, I was like, damn, if I had a long arm like that, boy, you could make some money, But she does it for her. She bought that machine for herself because she loves to make quilts for her friends, her family, and all that stuff. She does not do it as a business. And she told me, she said, I won't do it. And at first, I really didn't understand. Carlito's quilt took 6 hours. 6 hours on that machine. And we put it on the machine. And just putting it on the machine alone took a whole hour. Then setting up the computer and all that stuff took about good 30 minutes, something like that. And the reason why is because, she was explaining to me how the system worked as she was doing it. I'm sure she was by herself, she would have processed that, fast, but there is a lot of details that's so involved, and the timing. And the thing is, she's right. People ain't going to be willing to pay because they think, oh, you smack it on the machine, you press the button, and it's fine. It doesn't work like that. You got to go, that long arm machine works by rows. So you have to, and you can't just like turn it on, walk away. Just like an embroidery machine, you can't turn it on and walk away. You got to watch it. So people don't appreciate, they really don't appreciate the time it takes. They think that that the stuff that you do is stuff that came from, from a factory, right? That they just process. Machines are processing it all the time. Well, the machines are processing it all the time, but they're doing big volumes of it, and they have a whole bunch of employees in there that they're probably paying peanuts to work in, okay? Because we all hear about those horror stories in some of these factories, right? Where they have people so underpaid, it's ridiculous. So then they want you to charge little. No, it's just not going to happen. It really isn't. And I'm going to tell you something. This quilt that I made for Cardito, it's heavy. It is heavy. And all it is it's the topping, the backing, and the batting. You put those three together, that thing weighs. It weighs. So I could see him using that on a cold winter night. He needs to snuggle and stuff. That thing's going to keep him warm. It's beautiful. And the way she quilted that, oh my God. It's like, I'm with Nancy. It's like I'm looking around the house and I'm thinking, where can I put a long arm? Because I would love to get a long arm. Oh my God. Oh, I would love it. But they are expensive. The one that my neighbor has is close to, I think, 36,000, something like that. I'm like, oh my God. But it's beautiful. I just love the way that it just, it took 6 hours. And then I watched her do another one, and it took close to more than 8 hours to do it. It was a really huge one that she did, and it took a long time. But when I went to go see her do it, she was already in the room. So, yeah. But you know what, Lydia, about that lady, going back to that lady, don't feel bad. That's her problem, ain't yours. It's not your problem, okay? You enjoy your holiday. Let her get mad. Shoot, you do your thing. Do your thing. They get mad at me all the time. That's okay. The only person that I'd say that need to love me is Fred and Mello and Cardito and Nancy, even though I get on her nerves sometimes, but she loves me too. But that's it. The important people in your life, those are the ones you should worry about. These people don't care. Nope. What the heck? Didn't even know. Girl, just started. Ain't that cool? I did that myself. Well, Nancy kind of helped me start it, okay, and stuff. But isn't that cool? Oh man, Shayna, get into quilting. I'm telling you, you'll be like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. I'll show you guys the final product when I'm done. I will show you the final product. That came out beautiful. It's a great video on Sweet Pea Embroidery YouTube channel on how to sew bindings on a quilt. I will be watching that. Yes, I will definitely be watching that. The fabric choices are stunning. Oh, thank you. I'll tell you, Cardito loves it. He really, really does. Great advice. Oh, thank you. Love your quilt. Very beautiful. Oh, thanks. Got the quilt bug. I do. The quilt bug got me. Oh my God. Oh, it's so much fun. It is. Officially a quilter. I am. Got that quilting bug. Yep, I do. I think of a great outlet, something new. Yep. And I think that's another thing too. Maybe that's why I'm a little slow on accepting the local orders. My Etsy orders, I don't care. Etsy orders can bring them in and stuff because those are all pre-designed, right? So very easy to process them and put them out, put them in the mailbox. Like I said, while I put them out, Carlito comes in, he sees the bags and stuff. He just grabs them, goes to the post office. He's good, right? But I want to quilt. I want to do some stuff for myself. I want to have fun. I want to sew. I want to turn those sewing machines on and sew. I want to enjoy my time in the sewing room, not just the embroidery room. That's why I'm kind of like, that's all right. That's all right. The quilt. I'm working on my first mini quilt and I love it. Oh, you got to show me the picture. I also caught the quilting bug. Isn't it fun? I just love it. I love it. You really did an outstanding job. Aw. I can't wait to see it next week. Quilting is a lot of work. I made myself daughter a quilt using all her shirts from daycare through high school. Gave it to her when she turned 21. Oh, that is a great idea. That's nice. That's a nice idea. I also want to now do a t-shirt quilt as well. I was thinking of doing one because I want to gift a quilt to Fred. And I think that will be what I do. Something like with Air Force, something with the Commanders, probably some cigar. I want to do a quilt of all the things that I know he loves, and just put them all in a quilt. So that way it's stuff that, it's a Fred quilt. I want to make a Fred quilt. Yeah. You're not Burger King. They can't have it their way. At a certain point anyway. That's true. Yep. Oh my goodness. Oh, my SC 1900 is a quilting workhorse. I push her to the limits. Yeah, well, I'm going to be pushing mine to the limits tomorrow because I'm going to have to take down the Juki because I know the tension's all off. But I'm going to use my SC 1900 to do the binding on Carlito's quilt. So I'm pretty excited. Can't wait. My mom was a seamstress for years, and that was her biggest complaint. Customers think custom made cheap. They do. They really do. And my mom, she does crochet, and me and my sister can tell you the hours that she spends in her house watching TV with the yarn and the needle on her hand, just crocheting. I mean, I remember when I used to live in New York, every time I went to the store, she would always ask me to bring back a not bonina. She would say bonina, but I don't know how you say it in English, but the yarn. I would have to bring home the yarn for her. And it was always a particular color, a particular size, and that's her thing. So, I mean, it's like it costs a lot of money. It's very, very costly and stuff. I don't even keep the cheap supplies anymore. It's gonna be more labor and worse result. And if they want a lower price, they can just Google Translate and talk to someone in Thailand and wait a month. Yep, I kind of agree. Yeah, and it's kind of funny too because sometimes like you tell them the price and everything, and like they're like, oh, that's a lot of money. I'm like, this ain't China. This ain't China. I mean, this isn't a factory. I don't have like a bunch of people working under the table and stuff like that over here. It doesn't work like that. It's just this is not it. It's like, welcome to USA. You're in America. This is what you're gonna pay. I'm like, no, Love the discussion tonight. Right and on point. Oh, thanks, Janet. Oh, okay. All stitch website, 6 needles only, sharps for tough material hats. Great information as always. Yes. Hey, Jaws mom. Hey, Leslie. How you doing? Hey, Jenny Rosario. How are you? Did you name your Juki yet? I haven't named mine yet. And so Jeanette, the quilt is really nice. What's wrong with the Juki? It's my tension. When I sew it, it looks like a straight line. So I got a feeling that there's a problem with my bobbin case. So I went on sewing parts online, And what I did was I ordered two things. I ordered a custom insert for my SC1900 for my sewing table because I got a custom insert for my Juki. So I wanted the custom insert for my other machine too, because I'm not going to get rid of my SC1900. I actually love that machine. So I have a feeling it's my bobbin case that I need a new one. So I ordered the insert. I ordered a new bobbin case. And I also ordered, I don't know if you guys know, but you can order a needle plate for quilting for your SC1900. Yes, you can on Sewing Machine Plus. As a matter of fact, I will show you exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So let me show you guys, because if you guys have a thing, I'll show you guys exactly. No, that's Sewing Machine. Sewing Parts Online. Okay, so let me go on here. I want to share my screen because I want to show you guys, okay, what I did, okay? I'm actually going to share my entire screen. I know I'm going a little overboard today, guys, but I just want to share you guys. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go right here. Nope, that's Sewing. Yeah, Sewing Parts Online. Oh, okay. Let me get that out of there. Oh, Black Friday. Okay. All right. So what I did was I went under here, and I did Brother Parts. Okay, and then it says find your model. So it's the SC1900, right? So I'm gonna scroll down. I hope you guys aren't getting dizzy and stuff because I know I am. I'm like, bleh. Okay. So we're going down to the SC1900 because, of course, a lot of machines here. All right, so SC1900, this is it right here. Okay, so what I did here was I typed plate. And I want to show you guys, look at what I found, which I thought was really interesting. This is a straight stitch needle plate. Now, one of the things that my sister told me was pay attention to this hole right here. If you guys look at your SC1900 right now, you're going to notice that you're not going to have a tiny hole like this. It looks like a little slit. It looks like a slit. And the reason why it looks like a slit is sometimes you can move your needle to the left or to the right, right? So like when you're doing zippers and stuff like that. But this is a plate for when you're quilting, you know, like when you want to do a straight stitch, right? So I went and I ordered this because it helps with, you know, with puckering and stuff like that. That's one of the things that Nancy had talked about that she liked about my Juki machine, because my Juki straight stitch machine has this hole that's right here, this little hole right there. Okay, here, let me put that on there. See, this is the hole that's right here. Now, let me see if I could show you if they sell the replacement plate for the SC1900, the regular one, and I don't see it. I don't think they do. Ain't that something? Okay, hold on. Plate. Oh, it just has this one. That's interesting. And then I bought the well, not the extension, but I bought a custom insert for my thing. But anyway, so that's what I got, guys. So what I did, and let me remove that. So what I did was I bought a brand new needle plate. Okay, I wanted to get a brand new needle plate, so you know, for me to do straight stitching on my SC1900. And then I figured because I'm having problems with the tension, and I was messing around with the bobbin case to see if, you know, I could get the tension right. It just wasn't working. So I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. So I'm like, let me get a brand new bobbin case, because you should always have a spare anyway. You never know. So I'll get a new one, see if that probably was the cause. I'm going to try to fix it. If not, I'll just have to have the Justin come and take a look at him and stuff, because it could be that maybe Juki's just pissed off at me and doesn't want to work for me anymore. I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. Yes. Yes, baby giant. When you choose yes. I'm on all stitch and I see organ. Yes. All right, let me show you how. As a matter of fact, let me show you because all right, hopefully you guys can see it. I think you can. Okay, so let me go to all stitch. All right, this is how I do my needles. You go to needles. You want to do embroidery. Okay. I select semi-pro embroidery. Sorry. These are the needles that I buy. Okay. And then yeah, this is the SKU, but see how here you could type 7511, 65.9. You could buy a 7010 and so on, you know. So you can do this is how I buy it. Usually what I do is I get the 7511. I'll buy 10 boxes of that, 65.9, 10 boxes of that, you know, and stuff. Because these are the two sizes that I use the most. Now, the 9014 I buy and the 8012 I buy as well too. I don't buy the 7010, but I do buy these, but I don't buy like 10 of them and stuff because it's really for the sewing machine. So I'll just buy like 1 or 2 boxes of those. That's usually how I do that. All right. So I hope you guys saw that and stuff. Let's see. I tell clients I sell quality, experience, and time. If you want cheap and experience, it's someone who doesn't care about time, not your person. Same thing. Yep, you got that right. Really enjoy the live. All your tips were in line with the craziness that comes with the holidays. Hope you guys took some notes from you. Ah, thanks. I'm glad you like it. Very busy making new Christmas stockings for daughters and husband. They lost the last ones I made for them in the California fires. They lost everything and moved to New Mexico. New beginnings. New beginnings. Oh, okay. Oh, just embroidered the velvet cup from one of the stockings and it came out beautiful. I've embroidered on velvet. It can be a little tricky, but it comes out really cute. The thread lights up similarly to night safety clothing. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it the night because, man, it's been, what, we're at 10 o'clock? Oh, okay. Rita says she has a nickel printer and it's never sparked. Well, I'll have to see that. I'll have to see which one. Hey, Liliana, how you doing? Still in the shop. I guess she's not, we're not the only ones busting eyes working. She is still in the shop working on so many rush orders and watching you. Oh, you make sure you take your break, Liliana. Don't work too hard. And stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but I think she's the queen of embroidery. I don't know if you guys have watched her channel. I watch her all the time. I love her channel. I even sometimes rewatch her channels because she does them in Spanish, but she does dupe them so that you can listen to her in English as well. But she has been in the business for over 20 years and she's really like a mentor to me. So I just love watching her stuff. And I know she is real busy, real busy. You can enjoy hard work for free, but the minute you're paid a low price to do something, it makes you start to dislike it. Yes. Very, very, very true. Very, very, very true. Hey, Simone. Hey, guys. Long time. I trust all is well. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I'll never forget the time you won that thread, all that fabric. Crafty Puerto Rican won last year. Yeah. This year. This year she won. Yep, she won. Craft Puerto Rican won. I caught the bus as well, and I'm planning to phase now to the door. Aw. I'm so shocked. I'm so stuck on an order because I ran out of 8012 ballpoint needles, and this will be arriving December 19th, and I have 75 logos to do. What a mess. Oh, see the importance of stocking up. But I mean, Liliana, in all honesty, I mean, it's like you do a lot. You do a lot. I am sure you are probably changing needles on those machines probably every day. That would be my guess, because I change right now during this time. I'm changing them out every other day because it's so important to change the needles, because if you don't change the needles, it really does do something to the quality of the embroidery. It really does. A lot of people don't realize that, but a fresh needle can really improve the way an embroidery looks. So it's so freaking important. So important and stuff. So girl, now you know you're gonna have to stock up on those needles. Long time. Oh, let me see. I saw that already. Yes, the plate will avoid the fabric from sinking into the machine and allows you the ability to make piecing more accurate. Yeah, that's why I wanted to get it, because I'm like, I mean, I love my Juki, but it's just like right now the stitching is not coming out great. And I worked really hard on this quilt. I really did. I do not want poor stitching to be on this quilt at all. So that's why I'm like, okay, because it's the Juki's not acting right, put it away. And I'm just going to use the other machine to stitch, because I know my SC 1900 is stitching just fine. I look down to the bobbin to see what's happening. Yeah, I gotta troubleshoot it, Bob. I really do. Do you need to have to shop at All Stitch? No, you don't. You don't need to have an LLC to stop. Anybody can shop at All Stitch. Now, you don't want to pay taxes on your products and stuff. You're gonna have to have a business license and everything like that. So that way, when you go buy your supplies, you could buy. You don't have to pay sales tax and everything. But no, you can just go to All Stitch and you can go ahead and you can place your order and stuff. Check it. You may need to adjust it. I did, Nancy. I adjusted the tension. It's not taking. I gotta put in the case is bad. I think that case, it probably hit the floor too many times because I accidentally dropped it. And I just think it's bad. So that's why I said, let me just buy a new case just to make sure, but and you know what I haven't tried? Maybe I need to rewind another bobbin and stuff like that. But yeah, I have to figure it out and stuff. So yeah. Thank you, Jeanette. Aw, thanks, Robin. I always stock up. But this 8012 ballpoint is not the one that I use a lot. Yeah. That's the thing. Like I was saying, when it comes to the 9040, 14 and all that stuff, those needles I buy, but I don't buy that much, because I don't use them all the time. Now, the 65.9 and the 75.11 I use all the time for embroidery, all the time. The 65.9 I use for the small fonts. The 75.11 I use for regular embroidery. So I use all the time. So I buy them in big bulks. But, the 8512 is something that I don't buy all the time, So, oh, I get them from Alibaba overseas. Unfortunately, they're not cheap anymore. I'm gonna tell you, they're not cheap. Everything is very, very, very expensive. Because I wanted to go and place another. I buy them by the bulk. I went to place another order and it was double. So I was like, oh, okay. Which is why I'm not selling any blanks and stuff. Yeah. So guys, I am gonna call it the night because I see Mello is already downstairs in the basement. I mean, not the basement, in the front door because I hear him barking. So I think he needs to go to the bathroom. So I gotta let him out. I'm pretty tired because I did have a full day today because got up, I did my orders. After I did my orders, I worked on Cardito's quilt. I did the serging on the quilt and everything. Then I met with my accountant. So I did do a lot. I did a lot today. I got a lot accomplished and everything. So, and I feel good about that. I do need to start posting more on YouTube. I really do. I mean, I've just been doing the lives with you guys, but I'm going to be honest. I kind of like the lives because the lives, I feel like I'm just hanging out with you guys. I like to post videos on YouTube when I learn something new, right? I just don't want the channel to just have a bunch of stuff on it, just to have stuff on it. I prefer to post a video when there's something new that I want to teach you guys. That's something that I would prefer to do. So I don't know. So we'll see if I'm going to be posting more often and stuff like that. It does get a little difficult, especially during the holiday season. So be posting the lives is just so much easier because it's like I like to just look up topics and share it, especially like running a business and all that stuff. I kind of like to share my thoughts on it and stuff because kind of, I feel like, that kind of helps people. But the project stuff and everything, I mean, I could show you guys like some of the stuff that I do, for myself. Maybe I'll probably just start working on some small projects and show you guys how I do certain things, and stuff. Maybe I'll do that. But, like I said, I had a lot going on this year. I retired and stuff, getting used to it and everything. But I got a feeling in 2026, I'm probably going to be leaning more into the YouTube channel and then just go from there. So guys, I am going to call it the night and say good night to everybody. Hope you guys had a great evening and stuff, and you guys enjoyed the topic that, I talked to you guys. I know, a lot of you guys are tired out there. You guys are working really hard and everything. It's a lot of work. The embroidery is a lot of work. It really, truly is. And when you are taking orders from people, gathering requirements and all that kind of stuff, it can get time consuming and everything, and it can be tiring. So I'm hoping that if you are feeling that kind of way right now and stuff, at least be talking about these challenges and everything, help you feel a little bit better, knowing that you're not alone. You're not the only one out there feeling some kind of way and stuff. It's natural. It happens, but the more you do this, the more you're going to realize that you're going to be used to it. Not used to, but you'll find a better way to handle it, right? You'll learn to say no to orders. You're going to learn how to schedule your time a little more wisely. You're going to learn how to really appropriately price your items, okay? Like I said, don't let people take advantage of you. People will. I mean, you'd be surprised. People don't care, they just want what they want. And they really don't take in consideration the electricity you use, the machine, your cost of your machines, your threads, your time, your effort, even your skill set. Okay. They want great work. They don't want to pay for it. It's like, don't be that person. Okay. You don't have to be the sucker, do what you love doing because you love doing it, but make sure that you get reimbursed appropriately. All right. You want your customer to feel great, but you don't want to feel like crap. Okay. That's why I say, be fair and make sure that when you price items, you're pricing them fair, not just to your customer, but to you too, because you deserve it. You worked hard. Okay. So, don't, these are supposed to be fun times. You're doing this because you love it. You want to keep loving it. The moment you start not taking care of you and paying attention and improving and stuff like that, it's just not gonna work for you and stuff like that. So you might as well just stick to the hobby and not deal with the hassle, because this is all about feeling good and not feeling bad. Okay. And if you ever need stuff, or, reach out to other embroidery shops, you'd be surprised. A lot of people help each other out. I reach out to Liliana a lot, whenever I have a project and I really don't know even like if I'm doing it right and stuff. She takes my calls. She doesn't have a problem with that. We call each other all the time. Me and Nancy call each other all the time. I talk with a lot of you guys out there a lot. Sometimes you guys reach out through email, Facebook, PM me and all that kind of stuff. We're here to support each other. There's plenty of work for everybody. And, and the thing is, support each other in a positive way. We want to celebrate each other's wins. That's important and stuff, especially in this kind of world where, I don't know, for some reason, like I said, I feel like people really take joy in watching other people fail. I really don't. I hate seeing that. I really do, because I like to see people grow and really do well. I mean, we all deserve happiness. So, be that person to help somebody else. Okay. So I will talk to you guys later, and I'm excited about next Friday, because next Friday is show and tell. So I can't wait to see all those great gifts that all those Esthers make out there. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your embroidery machines. Enjoy what you are doing. Have fun. And I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great night. Bye, everyone. Take care. See you guys. Bye.